It's more often than not that wrestling fans look back at 1998 as probably the year of the WWE. Probably the year that everyone looks back at and says is absolutely flawless. And for the most part, they're right. 1998 was the year where WWE pulled away from WCW, finally got the ratings that they needed, and finally advanced in the ratings like they wanted to. I'll give them that. A lot of what WWE did in 1998 was spectacular, if not absolutely excellent. But then you look at some shows, and you look at some booking decisions, and you look back and you're like, why did the WWE do this? And I think that the one show that exemplifies that is King of the Ring 1998. Now, if you look at this show, to me it was pretty much a one-match show. And for obvious reasons. I mean, it's probably one of the most memorable matches of all time in the history of wrestling, not even the WWE, in wrestling in general. But you look back at King of the Ring 1998, and you question some of the stuff WWE did with two of their three main events. I'm not going to talk about each King of the Ring match in depth, but I'm going to talk about the actual final between Shamrock and The Rock. But first, let's start off with some of the undercard matches. The Headbangers and Taka Michinoku versus Kai and Tai. Really didn't care about this match. Really had no thoughts on it. I really couldn't take the Headbangers or Kai and Tai seriously. I didn't really care. I still don't to this day. The tag team match with Too Much against Al Snow and Head. Well, with Jerry Lawler as the special guest referee, might I add. Now, Al Snow was one of those underrated gimmicks in WWE. One of those underrated personas in WWE. Because he was just so entertaining in so many different ways, and yet everyone seems to forget him. Everyone looks at, like, The Rock, and everyone looks at Austin, and then you look at guys like Al Snow, and you look later like guys like Crash Holly. A lot of those guys were so fun to watch, and Al Snow, I think, was one of them. But this match, Too Much and Al Snow and Head, is what it is, was what it was, and I can move on from it. I really don't have a lot of thoughts on it. I thought that the story with Brian Christopher and Jerry the King Lawler, like, they're teasing that they're related, even though they actually are, but they don't want to acknowledge it on television. I thought that was funny, but got kind of bland. Match was kind of bland. Have no real thoughts on it. Then you get X-Pac versus Owen Hart. I felt like the right guy won. You were trying to establish DX as a whole, as a big group, and that includes singles wrestling, so I think X-Pac beating Owen Hart was the right move. Same with the New Age Outlaws beating the New Midnight Express, and another reason why I think it was the right move is because I hated the New Midnight Express. It's fucking bland as hell. Hated it, still hate it. And then you get to one of the two reasons why I look back at this show and I think that it isn't memorable. Ken Shamrock defeating The Rock in the King of the Ring final. Now, at the time, you would think that Ken Shamrock winning may be a really good thing. And then you look back on it here in 2015, and you look back at the success that The Rock had in the WWE, and then you look back at Ken Shamrock's career, and you're like, why the fuck did he deserve this King of the Ring honor? The purpose of King of the Ring was to try to establish a new star. So Shamrock wins it, and he does absolutely nothing to follow up on that. You know, it doesn't make any sense. And it still doesn't make any sense. I think that at that time, it was the right move, but looking back at it, it was the absolute wrong move. In that case, why not have The Rock win it? That'll be his way of being elevated. You know, I know he had the signature victory at WrestleMania, even though it was by disqualification, but still, this should have been The Rock's victory here. Because you're establishing him as a future guy, a future top star, and what better way to do that by having him win King of the Ring? It just makes no sense now, looking back at it, that Ken Shamrock won it. Because really, what did Ken Shamrock do to deserve this fucking honor? Nothing, in my opinion. And then you get to the match of the night, and probably, if you look back at the Attitude Era, it is probably the greatest match of the Attitude Era. And it's Undertaker versus Mankind in the Hell in a Cell match. Obviously, when you throw in the Undertaker, when you throw Mankind, and when you put them in a Hell in a Cell match, you're going to get sparks, you are going to get magic, you are going to get something that fucking works. And that's what you got here. I loved this match for so many different reasons. It was extreme like it needed to be. It had great storytelling like it was supposed to have, and like I wanted it to have. It had a good build-up. It had 2 spectacular moments, and one of them was unplanned. Everything about this match was great. Everything about this match was awesome. And when you look back at the Attitude Era, this could very well be the greatest match of the Attitude Era. If maybe in your top 3, but I think for me, it's my number 1. And I'm not joking about that. Hell in a Cell was something unique, something different, something new, something fresh. And I'm struggling today in the WWE to get something new and something unique and something fresh. But here in the Attitude Era, you bring in Hell in a Cell, and you put 2 guys that had such good chemistry together in this match, and sparks just lit. Fire just fucking burned, and it was a fucking awesome match. I thought Hell in a Cell is probably one of the greatest gimmick matches ever created, and I think that this match is one of the greatest matches that has ever taken place. And then you get to the main event, and it is Kane versus Austin in the First Blood match for the WWE Championship. And I didn't like this match. I hated this match, actually. I thought this match was overbooked. Was really overbooked. You didn't need the Hell in a Cell at all. You didn't need Mankind. All you needed was The Undertaker, because you're trying to establish Undertaker's heel turn. Why the fuck did Mankind need to be brought in here, and why... You know, especially considering that this guy has a plethora of injuries, and you send him back out there for no reason. I felt so bad for him. Because you listened to Mick Foley saying all those injuries that he had. And he had to go back out there again. I thought that was stupid. But this match was really stupid because of who won. Now, again, at the time, you would think that Kane winning is a really good thing. Something different, you know, putting the belt on a new guy, on another star, and trying to, you know, give Austin a break from the championship for a while, and that's fine. But, again, at the time it was good, but you look back at it again, and you see that the night after on Raw, Austin wins the title back. Why? This made this match totally irrelevant, in my opinion. It was totally irrelevant and totally stupid. Why give Kane the championship, waste all this time, build up, and fucking energy, just to take all the energy out and to give Austin the belt again? Just makes no sense. And that, to me, was a bad ending to, honestly, a forgettable show other than that one match. And that one match was Undertaker and Mankind. And that one match, that Hell in a Cell match, will go down as the greatest Hell in a Cell match in history. It will go down as one of the top 10 greatest matches in WWE history. It might go down as The Undertaker's best match, and it will definitely go down as Mick Foley's best match. Honestly, that's a fucking great match to go back and watch. And if you haven't watched it yet, I feel really bad for you because you're missing a really good match. But other than that, honestly, this pay-per-view was really forgettable. A lot of people look back at 1998 and say that everything that the WWE did in 1998 was flawless and it was spectacular and it was great. King of the Ring 98 was not spectacular, it was not good, it was not great. It's just my opinion, honestly. King of the Ring 1998, while it had that one good match, will ultimately be a forgettable show.